I don't always wear denim, but when I do, I make sure it fits perfectly. We're back, and I know it's been a hot minute since the last upload, but things have been crazy. Now, without bothering you with too many details unrelated to why you clicked on this video, Primo has been blowing up way better than expected. We're still waiting on the Tailor bust though, but in the meantime, we've been able to fill this amazing studio. Also, in other news, we might be expanding, but that's a secret that we'll talk about maybe in a more vlog style content. So for this video, you want to eliminate that saggy, bunching feeling in your pants. For me, I bought these a size bigger for a fuller cut look, but I don't want to have to put stupid darts in the back that are going to look ugly at the end. I want a professional, gosh darn looking pair of pants, and I'm sure you do too. So let's jump right into it. So here we are. Let's mark how much of this pair of jeans need to be taken in. Now we're talking about the back seam, how far down we're going to go. This is going to vary from person to person, but the process is the same. While looking into a mirror, kind of check yourself out and see how far down it takes the pants until it breaks cleanly on your butt. So for me, it's about right here, if I'm holding it right about here where the apex is of my butt. So I'm just going to put a mark right where I want to take it in at its max. I want to take the seam in from here to here. Sometimes if you have no booty, you're going to go all the way around. If you just need the waistband, you're going to stop right here. Next, we're going to take in how much needs to come in. Now, if you have a friend, have them pinch it for you till it feels comfortable. Throw your marks on either side. Or if you're doing this on your own, just kind of stretch it out. So for me, about that much. Pinch it on the side, both parts. And then we're just going to transfer that mark to the back seam. So now I have my mark transferred to the back where I'm going to start and finish and how much we're taking in. Let's get into deconstructing the entire garment. So starting off, we're going to remove the belt loops that are in the way. If you have any, all you're going to do is take off the top and bottom stitching. Then what you're going to need is to remove the entire waistband from the bottom of the pants. Most of the time on denim, you're going to have what is known as a chain stitch, which allows you to pick apart a section. If you get the right part, you'll just pull it straight out. You want probably about an inch on either side of where your marks are so that you have room to work. So just start by taking that out. So now that the waistband is detached from the main part of the pants, probably like I said, about an inch from either side of the marks that you just made, we are now going to take out the stitching going down the seat. Something to keep in mind, if you have a light wash pair of pants like mine here, you have this really cool distressing into it. You will not have that anymore when you do this next piece unless you hand distress it yourself. Also, there will be a bit of a transition from here to here where you'll have this fabric there instead of that, and then it'll go back into distressed. So you got to keep these things in mind before you finish the whole job because again, once we're done with this, we're done. No changing it. So now let's take apart this seam right here. We want to take out the stitching from the outside, probably again about an inch down from where our mark is all the way up. So that's this outside. So better yet, on the inside of the pants, it's the one that comes to the edge, the flappy edge. Take that one out all the way down. Helpful tip, make a incision real quickly, right to where you want it to stop. That way you don't accidentally take out all of the stitching. Just like that. Come out to the front, take out this front piece, be all the way down to where you started. Perfect. So at this point, we're going to transfer the waistband marks down to the bottom so that we know how much we're taking on both. Perfect. Now, let's take off this top stitching on the waistband. We want this whole thing to be opened up. A lot of the time when you take apart a waistband like this, it will have two separate pieces. This one does not, so we're not too worried about how that is going to turn out. But there is going to be a little bit of a discrepancy with how you're going to finish it, but I'll explain it when we get there. But for right now, all we're focused on is taking these marks and transferring them for the inside. So the last thing that we want to remove is this line of stitching right here. Now this is significant because this is right where we're going to taper it in on the back side. We're going to bring that stitching right into the edge, but you don't want to take it off too much or then it's going to rip open the whole seam and it's going to make it a mess putting it back together. Take the pants, press them open. Press the entire pair of pants open. Now let's make our mark. So we're going to go from where we're transitioning into. We're just going to ease it out to that edge, to the edge here, how much we're taking in. Now you can use a roller, you can use a French curve. I like to eyeball it in. Just make sure that when you sew over that line, you're matching up that seam just like that. Now we're going to the waistband. Take it like this. Actually, it might be easier to, let's do that. You're going to cut it right up the middle. We're going to match up these lines with this line on the sewing machine, and we're going to sew both pieces together. Now I just have a general all-purpose thread in this machine at the moment. That's just because this first seam you're not going to see. The next ones we will switch to a matching denim thread. But for this case, we're going to do this and then we're going to try them on to make sure that we don't cut them too short. So we're going to start right into the taper area. Put your needle in there, follow the stitching up, do that whole thing, turn the waistband in on itself, open up all these edges, and then sew those along the line as well. So here we are with the pant all sewn together. We're going to cut out a majority of this waistband, leaving about an inch. I use my finger, but you can use a roller. Leaving about an inch just for some ease if you have to let it out. At this point, it's a good idea to try these on. I know it's going to fit a little funky, but once you start cutting this stuff, you are done. Like I said here, max I'm going to be able to let this out is maybe about a half an inch. So make sure it fits the way you want it to. Next thing we're going to be cutting is into the waist just like this. What I want to do is I want to cut both of them, again, close to that, like we're going to do 3/4 on this guy. I'm actually going to mark it. Mark it just like this. Actually, let's do 1/2 inch. I'm going to do a 1/2 inch. Better show you that. 1/2 inch on the seam. We're going to cut both of them off. All the way into this part here. Alrighty, so then as you will notice at the bottom how it turns over this way, we're going to take this inside piece and then cut that one even down a little bit shorter, about halfway from where the other one is. So just split that difference. Careful not to cut the other strip of the other side of the seam like I almost just did there. So the method we're going to go in finishing this is we're going to turn everything over to the side, just like this, and we're going to take this raw edge, we're going to turn it over, we're going to take this taller raw edge, flip it over the raw edge that's shorter, and then turn them both to the side, and we're going to put a top stitch right across. Make sure you're using a jean material. At the same time, we're going to press open this waistband so that we can close it all up, and we'll put a top stitch here and reconnect it back to the denim. So here we are with the finished sewing. We've got this transition down here, which, like I was saying, does look a little weird, but with a little bit of distressing to the seam, and over time it's going to start to blend in a little bit better. You will have a seam right here, but that is easily fixed by just adding the belt loop back on. I'm not going to do it on here because I don't want to have them too close. And plus, for belt loops, all you do is top stitch the top and the bottom, so there's not too much of a tutorial that is needed in there. But let's try these on and see how they finished up. So as you can see, it looks much snugger than it did in the beginning, and actually with how much we took it in, you don't even see where the transition is that badly, so I don't think I'm going to distress the seam on these. Over time, it'll naturally distress, and I'm happy with that. So future Lewis here, I did decide to opt for the belt loops. It just hides that seam in the back, which looks way better. I do highly recommend you doing this, so scrap what I said before. And that's it. You just took in the waist and seat of your pants, your denim, I should say, and you're not worried with stupid little side darts or weird things up the side. You took it in, you made it look professional. Like I said in the video, this does work better with darker denim, but as long as you get a nice heavy needle in the thread that matches for your jeans, you're going to be just fine. I would like to say again, I am so sorry for the delay in these videos. As things start to settle down for me here in my new business and what I'm running through, I will be making these videos more readily available to you guys. And again, like always, if you have anything you would like to see in future videos, let me know in the comments down below, and I will read through them all and respond as quickly as possible, and hopefully respond with a few videos teaching you how I do what I do. I'm Lewis from Aspiring Gent, and this was another Tailor Teaches tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one.